Hi, Read 516. It's Dr. Keisler here for part 3. And I have the right PowerPoint this time. Sorry about that. So, how to structure your time. So, this class, like I said, it does move kind of fast, and there's a lot of things to get done because you're doing a class that we used to do in an in-person clinic form or out at a school site on your own. And since it is field work and you're still a student, it does need to be supervised. So, there's just a lot of stuff to plan and turn in. So let's talk about what to do during the week. So during the week, every Tuesday, your new content is posted. Like I said, if you haven't before, likely it actually comes up on Monday. So you get a couple of extra hours if you're so inclined. But read the checklist first, watch the lectures, complete the course readings, complete the participation activity if there is one. And then you're going to be making your assessment plan, right? So these are we call them the Whoppers, the weekly assessment plan and reflection. And then you want to prep for your session. So let's say, you have a bunch of lectures and readings focused on early literacy skills, right? So you'll have that, let's say, for week 3. You'll get the readings about the types of assessment and the content. You'll get a list of the assessments you're supposed to use, and you'll have the lectures. So you'll watch all of that stuff starting on Tuesday about early reading, early literacy skills. Then you need to, that week, complete or plan your weekly assessment plan and reflection. So you'll see on the syllabus it says plan it. You don't turn it into me. What happens then is the next week, you go out and you meet with your student and you give them the assessments on the content you learned the week before. So you learned early literacy, let's say during week 3, you plan for it. Then during week 4, you actually go out, do it, do the reflection, and then you turn it into me week 4. In the meantime, week 4 has new content. So let's say week 3 was early literacy, you did the planning, and in week 4 you do the implementation of that plan. The next Tuesday, week 4, let's say our focus was on oral language development. Well, you're doing the planning for oral language development, and then the next week, week 5, you're going to go and you're going to actually implement that and then turn that in. So it's kind of like you learn it one week, you implement it the next week. But you'll see after that, the first session, you're like learning something new, but implementing the stuff from last week. Learning something new and implementing the stuff from last week. The reason I structured it that way is because it's my personal opinion that it's just way too much to have you, let's say learn about early literacy. It only gives you like 2 or 3 days to do all the reading and the screencast, and then you have to do the plan, and then still in that week, you have to go ahead and meet with the student and do the implementation, and then you reflect. That's just way too, in my opinion, way too much to do in 1 week. There are some instructors that teach this class that way, but I just don't see it happening. If anything happens in your week where you went away for the weekend or you got sick and you missed those 2 or 3 days that you get to watch all the screencasts and do all the reading, you kind of get yourself in a sticky wicket there, being able to get everything done because you have to meet with your students. So I think that this works a little bit better, although, cognitively you're like, okay, I'm learning something new, but I got to reflect on what I did last week. And I'm learning something new and planning for something new, but I'm still reflecting on what I did last week. But I think you'll see it does kind of fall into place. And after the first couple of weeks, you get into the rhythm. And then, as you do that next week, that's when you meet with your student and you complete the assessment and the reflection piece. So I try to be really, really detailed on that syllabus. In terms of, what you were planning for and then what was actually being turned in. So even the videos, it refers to which session I want the video of because you actually do it the next week. So if it's unclear when you take a look at that, you can email me and we can talk about it more, but I'm hoping that it's pretty clear for you. So assignments for this class. Class participation is very important, of course, so it's worth 20%. And that's group work, any mini assignments we have, discussion forums. You have your assessment artifacts and your weekly assessment plan and reflection. So there's a lot of uploading of stuff in this class, a lot of scanning and PDFing and uploading and videos and that kind of stuff. I'm going to try something new this semester, and I think what we're going to do is I'm going to make a wiki in Wikispaces. And then I'm going to give you each a project page that only you and I can view. And in that, I think I'm just going to have you embed your videos right on that, and you can put all of your assessment data right on that one page. So I'll give you some instructions next week. You don't actually have to turn any plans or anything in until week 4, so it gives us a little bit of time. But I think it's going to work better in terms of me being able to see everything and grade it and kind of follow along, and you being able to put everything in one place. In the past, we've used, Google Drive and then a wiki and then assignment Dropbox, and I want to see if we can just get it all on one page view. So it'll take a little bit of detail though, because I have to make sure that you do things like set your videos to private and upload them to YouTube, and then know how to embed. So I will make a tutorial for that, but I think that's the way we're going to do it. So those are worth 20%, those assessment artifacts and the Whoppers. You have the videos themselves worth 20%. You have 2 diagnostic reports to work on. Really the bulk of the grade is from the first one that you do, and that's worth 25% because you have a peer review component to it. So it's really important that you do that peer review, and so that's why I made it a big part of the grade. And then your response to intervention plan, which is a group project that we will do at the end of the semester. So as always, rubrics and samples of the assignments will be provided. So weekly, like I said, you have those Whoppers, the weekly assessment plan and reflection. 1 week you plan, the next week you reflect and turn them in. You will have some assessment artifacts. I will ask you to select those, and we'll talk about that each week. So I might want to see what that sheet actually looked like that you filled out. What did the QRI answer sheet look like? What did that San Diego Quick look like? And that will involve then some either taking pictures of it on your phone or scanning it in. But we've got some different options for that. Some people just, do a screenshot. We can talk about how we do that. You have some videos that you're going to turn in. So that's over the course of the whole semester. You've got some participation activities, discussions, your RTI piece, which is your, assessment and analysis scenario. So there's a lot of things going on in this class, but it's a good class, it's a fun class, and you're going to learn a ton in this class, especially about assessment, which is, we spend a lot of time talking about assessment education, we spend a lot of time giving assessments. But what's neat about this is it's really that diagnostic piece, which most of us do not get in our credential program, and we just get bits and pieces through professional development. And most of what we do get is either through some, district initiative of a commercial assessment program, or it's the, things that come with our programs that we use. All right, so that ends our course orientation, a course overview. So the last screencast that we're going to watch is just going to be a little overview of what some of the key assessment terms are that we're going to be using this semester. So you can go ahead and pick that up in the next screencast.